Welcome to the video. My name is Wahid Anwar, and in this video, we will see the difference between project planning and scheduling. So let's start. Here we have the contents. First, we will see the introduction, then definition of the both project planning and scheduling, then scope and objectives, then involvement of resources, then tools used. Okay, so outputs. Then we will see the time versus scope, then dependencies on each others, and flexibility, then summary of the key differences. Then in the last, we will have the conclusion. So let's start from the introduction. So here we have the introduction, overview of the project management, importance of the project planning and scheduling, and then distinct functions of project planning and scheduling. So actually, project planning and project scheduling are both essential components of project management, and while they are closely related, so they serve the different functions. So, understanding the difference between two is important for successful project execution. Both planning and scheduling contribute to organizing and managing a project, but they address different aspects of the project management processes. Okay, so next let's see the definitions of the both. First, we will see the definition of the project planning. So when we talk about the project planning, so project planning is the process of defining the project's objectives, scope, deliverables, resources, and constraints. So it involves laying out the strategy and framework that will be guide to the project through its life cycle from project initiation to project closing phase. Okay, so planning in you can say encompasses a broad range of the aspects, including scope, budget, resources, risk, communication, and quality. Okay, so under definition, you can see process of defining objectives, scope, deliverables, resources, and constraints. So next we have the key focus areas. In project planning, we will be deliver and what will not be included in the project. Okay, so that is the key focus in project planning. So second, you can see we have the budgeting means the estimated cost. So estimate the cost for resources, material, and labor. Okay. So then we have the resource allocation. You can see determining needed resources. It's mean we will determine what resources means 3M manpower, material, and machinery are needed. Then risk management. So in project planning, we will identify risk and mitigate strategies. So then we will work for the quality management, setting the quality standards. So setting standards and methods for ensuring quality deliverables in project planning. Next, we have the stakeholder communication. Planning communication will be stakeholders. So planning, you can say in planning how and when stakeholders will be informed. So now next we have next project scheduling. You can see in under definition we have the focuses on the timing of the project. You can see here timing of the project. But in a planning, we will focus on the objective, scope, deliverables, resources, and constraints. Okay, so the project scheduling is a sub component of project. The project scheduling is the sub component of the project planning. Okay, that focus especially on the timing of the project. So it involves determining the start and end date of the project. Okay, and setting dependencies between the task and allocating the necessary time frame for the completion of the each task. Scheduling aims to organize the task in a way that maximize the efficiency and ensures that the project is completed on time. Okay, here you can see we have it the focuses area. task sequencing, order of the task completion. Okay, so we will determine which task need to be completed before other can start. Okay, then here we have the timeline creation. So we will set the start and end dates for the each task or activity in project scheduling. Okay, then you can see we have here the resource allocation. Okay, so timing, you can see resource allocation timing when resources are needed. So next we have the milestones and deadlines, the key dates for the deliverables. So we will identify the key dates when a specific deliverable must be completed. Then in here in the last you can see we have it the CPM critical path method. So we will identify the longest sequence of the dependent task that must be completed on time for the project to finish on a schedule. Okay, so this I hope definitions you understand, and you also understand about the focuses areas for the both project planning and scheduling. So now move next. Next, we have the scope and objectives for the project planning and scheduling. Here you can see scope and objectives. Project planning, okay, so under you can see scope defining the overall objective and deliverables. And then you can see here we have the objective providing a roadmap for the project execution. So when we talk about the scope, so in simple words, project planning deals with the defining the overall objectives of the project, and it's a scope and the deliverables and the specific goals that needed to be achieved. Okay, so the objective, yeah, I hope it is clear, providing a roadmap for the project execution. Okay, so the primary goal is to the primary goal of the project planning is to provide a roadmap that guides the project from the start to finish. So it addresses what need to be done, how it will be done, and who will do it. Okay, along with the required resources and budget. Okay, so when we talk about the project scheduling, so you can see here the scope focused on the timing and other order of tasks. So it's mean scheduling is more focused on timing and the order of tasks. So it ensures that tasks are completed in a timely manner and identifies the sequence in which work will be done. Second, you can see objective organizing time effectively to ensure timely completion. So the you can say the goal of the project scheduling is to organize time effectively to make sure that the project is completed on time, and it involves creating a detailed timeline with the specific milestones. Okay. Next, we have the involvement of resources. So here we have the involvement of resources, project planning resources. You can see identify and allocating all the required resources. So in planning, you can say planning is involves identifying and allocating all the resources, both the human, material, required for the material. So this could include the estimating cost, assigning team members to roles, and ensuring that the right equipment and material are available. Okay, so the key output, you can see resource management plan. So the project plan typically include resource management plan, which outline the quantity, type, and allocation of resources of the for the project. Second, we have the project scheduling. Okay, so resources, you can see identifying when resources are needed. So scheduling includes identifying when resources will be required for each task. Okay, so it ensures that the resources are allocated at the right time, and overlapping tasks do not, you can say, overburden the available resources on the available resources. Okay, so next we have the key output schedule showing the resource availability. So the schedule will show the resources availability over time and any conflict of the constraints that need to be resolved. Okay, I hope involvement of resources is clear for the both. Move next. We have used tools. Okay, so let's see. Here you can see tools used for the product planning. Okay, so project planning, you can say, typically used documents and templates such as project charter. Okay, we have already discussed about project charter, everything in a detail related to the project charter, scope statement, then work breakdown structure, risk register, budget estimate, resource management plan, then communication plan. And here we have the project scheduling. So here you can see these are the tools. You can see the scheduling uh, primarily use tools to manage the task sequence and timelines, such as Gantt chart. You can see then critical path method, CPM, program evaluation review technique, and product management software. We use Microsoft project Primavera P6, etc. So then we have here Kanban boards. Okay, so Kanban boards actually is the the for the visual task management, and these are the project management software. So here you can see the critical path method and part program evaluation and review technique. Actually, these both are the project management methodologies. Okay, so next, we have the outputs. Okay, so let's see what we have under outputs for the both project planning. So project planning, under project planning outputs, project management plan integrates all the detailed plans. So the main output of the project planning phase is the project management plan. This document integrates all the detailed plans for the project's scope, resource, schedule, quality, communication, then risk management, then procurement, and the stakeholders. Okay, so here we have the project scheduling, you can see here. So here we have the output for the project scheduling, project schedule, detailed task, dependencies, and timeline. So the main output of the scheduling process is the project schedule. Okay, so this includes the detailed timeline of the task, their dependencies, duration, and then you can say milestones and the deadlines for the activities and projects. So it may be represented visually in format like Gantt chart or network diagram. Okay. Okay. So I hope outputs is clear. So now move next. Next we have time versus scope. You can see time versus scope under project planning. Focus on scope, defining work objectives and deliverables. So in project planning, we usually we focus on the project. Primary focus is on the defining the project scope. Scope means the work that needed to be done and the objective to be achieved. Okay, and the deliverables required. Okay, so time is you can say is one of the constant in the project planning process, but it is addressed indirectly in project planning. Next, we have the project scheduling. In the project scheduling, we will focus on the time. You can see timing of the activities and overall timeline. So, scheduling is all about the timing of the project. It determines when activities will take place, their duration, and the overall timeline of the project. So the goal of the project scheduling is to allocate sufficient time to each task to ensure that project stays on a track. Okay. Next, we have the dependencies, or you can say dependency on each other. Okay, so you can see here dependency on each other. You can product planning. So interdependencies lays the foundation for scheduling. Okay, so uh, while the product planning focuses on defining the product scope, objectives, and constraints, so it lays the foundation for scheduling. without a clear plan, it is not possible to create an accurate or you can say feasible schedule. Okay, so project scheduling, you can say interdependencies depends on detailed planning for accurate scheduling. Yes, so scheduling depends on the detailed planning already completed. Uh, Only you can say after planning a defined scope, resources needs and the constraints can be scheduling take place. And the scheduling is essentially the implementation timeline of the project planning process. Okay. Next, we have the flexibility. So, under flexibility, you can see here project planning flexibility more adaptable to the change during the project. Okay, so planning is typically more flexible in nature because it is about setting goals and identifying the pathways, and plans can be adjusted as needed during the course of the project based on resource availability or a scope changes. Okay, so next, project scheduling flexibility, you can see in actually project scheduling once created it more, you can say, rigid and serves as the framework for the project execution. So changes to the schedule, you can say, required a formal change management process. Okay. After that, we have the summary of key differences. Okay. So let's see. So summary of the key differences. Here we have the aspects, then project planning. Then next we have in the third column we have the project scheduling. So here you can see we have the definition. Under definition for the project planning, you can see we will define the objective, scope, resources, and budget. Okay, and for the project scheduling, we will you can say the actually it's the process of organizing task sequence and the estimation of time. Okay. So then we have the focus. You can see focus in a project planning, what and how. So defining what will be done and how it will be done, we will focus in project planning. But in a project scheduling, we will focus when and how. Okay, it's mean the when task will be completed and who do them. Okay, so next we have the output. So output is, you can see here, the project management plan. Then here we have the project schedule. So in you know the in a project scheduling, project planning actually is the documentation, you can say, are a guideline for the execution and for the monitoring and project monitoring and controlling. But when we talk about the project scheduling, so scheduling is the timeline, okay, of the project. In After that, we have some more differences in summary. So here you can see the key documents are the tools. So in a project planning, you can see project charter, WBS, risk registered, and resource plan. Okay. So, but in a project scheduling, Gantt chart, CPM, PERT, project management softwares like a P6, MS Project, and other some. We also other project management tools. Okay. So here we have the time versus scope. So this is the summary actually which we have already covered. So here we have the summary simple time and scope versus scope. So primary scope we have focused and focused on time and sequencing. Okay, so we will focus, you can say, on the time and sequences, and often under fixed time limited. Okay. Next, we have the dependencies. So project plan, you can see define scope of work. Okay. So define what need to be done and the scope of work. Okay. So dependencies on the planning for the accurate timeline. So project scheduling depends on the planning to create accurate timeline and task. Here we have the flexibility, more flexible. Project planning is the more flexible, okay, and more flexible in adjusting as the project progress. But project scheduling, you can say more rigid and structured. Changes required, formal approval required for any type of changes if you will need to do in project scheduling. So this was a summary of key differences between the project planning and scheduling. I hope everything is clear. The last we have here conclusion. So you can see importance of the both project planning and scheduling for the project success. Then planning focuses on scope and resource, while the scheduling focuses on timing or time and task management. So project planning and project scheduling are, you can say, both critical for the success of a project. Planning focuses on the defining the project scope, objectives, and resources, while scheduling focuses on the managing time by determining when activities will be performed and how they will be sequenced. So they are closely linked, and effective project management requires both a well documented plan and clear schedule to guide the execution. Okay, so this was the difference between the project planning and scheduling. I hope everything is clear.